it's been a little while since we've had a new recording. And I think today's a really special one for a couple of reasons. So I guess the package that I sent far away to Cheryl in Australia has arrived, and we get to see an unboxing.
Yeah. And this is a special painting, isn't it?
How come this one's special, Denise? Went through the mill on this one too, huh?
Well, that's why this took so long, I think. We had a little bit of an issue with this painting when it arrived at your studio. I don't know if you guys remember, but when we unpacked it, there was a little bit of an issue with it. But maybe we should just watch the video and so everybody can remember which painting we are talking about.
A much storied painting.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me share the video.
Painting B. Australia.
Look at that box. That has had some travels.
It's been around. Yeah.
That's amazing.
The box itself, I mean, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a piece of art now.
Decorated.
Yeah, it is a piece of art now.
It's what I was thinking because it's like a painting itself.
Well, it is sort of like a palimpsest with all the the stickers,
the layers.
Yeah. Ross's name huge on the back. You are very well represented on this box, Ross.
It should have been so easy to get this, and yet.
Okay, drum roll. Passport. Oh my gosh, Ross! What a good job! Oh my gosh! Wow.
This is awesome.
Wow.
Boy, that box really held up.
It did.
I know.
Master Pack Titan Strong Box. Wow. Oh, look at the
that's the one that's run the wrong way.
I love it.
Wow.
Yes. I cannot see where it was.
Oh, you'll see.
It was.
Yeah, you can see it. But you've added, is that a scarecrow or what the story there?
Wow,
that's very cool.
I love how you incorporated that, Ross.
Yeah, I like that too.
It's giving me huge Wizards of Oz vibes now.
It's really changed.
Wow.
It's not just part of the painting.
Wow. So I have so many questions.
Yay! Wow. We made it. Cheryl, what do you think?
I know it's here.
It's here. What
I think first, before we hear from Cheryl, I'd love to hear from Lara, because I know you weren't here when we received the painting when it was damaged, and it's the one that you started. So I'd love to hear your reaction.
To be honest, I think I like how it was painted on the scratch. Years ago, it's happened also to a painting of mine that was broken, not for traveling, but for another reason. But I thought it's like a scar from, if you have a scar on your body, being like a kind of a life. It has a scar, but it's part of his life. And I like how there is intervention. I'm not sure if I see, it's like some birds coming out from the sky. Okay.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love it because Which intervention have you made, you, Ross?
I did the scarecrow and the birds. I did some sky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So cool.
yeah.
It's really cool.
Love
It reminds me.
Greeny looking too.
It reminds me of how sometimes people get a tattoo to enhance or sort of memorialize their scars.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool, Ross. Well done, bravo.
Thank you. Well, I can say it was, reading all of your intentions and the story that you all had put into it. It was almost overwhelming. It was so inspiring and so challenging. It was so challenging in every single respect.
Yeah.
Cheryl, what was going through your mind when you opened it, and now that you see it?
I actually I didn't realize that this
Thanks,
crack
Steph.
was.
Stephanie's
Bye,
coming.
Stephanie.
I didn't realize that this damage was just so intense.
Yeah.
It was really quite. That was really quite sad. That was really quite awful. To think that somebody could have done that. That was just yeah.
Yeah.
So that was rather confronting to me. That feeling of vandalism or.
Mm.
Yeah, it feels kind of violating.
Yeah,
It
it
hits
was.
home, really.
It's actually it actually starts down here. Sorry, it actually starts. It really does start right. It really starts cracks right down here. This is yeah. It's really sad, and I know that this was just such a beautiful board because I know that this was an ampersand board, and they're not they're incredibly sort of like strong and well made.
Yeah.
So it was really quite just sort of sad for me just to see that the damage that had been done.
Also,
Yeah.
because it's inside the box, and the box doesn't have any damage, so it was opened and then damaged, and then closed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to be because
it's
that
not
box,
an accident.
the box is still in great condition. Like
Yeah.
there's just no way that it lost its integrity.
No. There's just no way that there is no damage at all to the cardboard on the outside of the box.
Yeah.
And this
I
having
agree.
happened.
It's not even marred, and it was not even marred.
Yeah.
Like
No.
if the corner had heavy box had fallen from 10 feet and landed its corner, there would at least be a divot.
A mark. Yes. Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing on the box. The box is still intact. So yeah, I think this piece is really one of those kind of testaments to how the human metaphor of how we go through pain, suffering, obstacles, and oftentimes the most touching, poignant, beautiful pieces of art come out of that kind of sharing, of that kind of healing process, right? So that there's signs that there was something happened, but that something happened left an imprint that's meaningful,
Yeah.
That's really your story, Rose, isn't it? For your work.
Yeah, well, I think it's a story for a lot of human beings, to be honest with you. I mean, everybody has to deal with something deeply that changes them, whether it's grief or
Abuse.
Abuse, whatever kind of, or
I'd say abuse.
even witnessing, other people's suffering can cause deep pain. And in terms of expressive arts therapy or my life journey, it's the process of the healing that grows the beauty, right? Like we all share that. That's a universal, something everybody on this planet shares, including animals.
It's the process of the journey that the beauty. I
Yeah,
mean,
you know, there's this big video going around in the environmental circles right now because there's a bear cam up in Alaska somewhere that lots of people love to watch the grizzlies on this automatic camera, right? It's not manned because it's grizzly territory, but they get a lot of footage and they get coverage of the same grizzlies and the same mums and the same cubs. And recently, a cub died. A cub went down the river, and mom couldn't catch the cub, and there was a whole big drama with the male grizzly, and so many human beings on the interweb are just like following this story because it just reflects the same story we have, that we go through, that we have to overcome. And this mom and her other cubs, you know, everybody's following them now, like, oh my God, the tragedy, the grief. We share that with every creature on the planet. And this painting is growing, I think, into a beautiful testament to that whole process.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So Cheryl, do you have plans for the painting yet?
I was more as with most of these paintings, I often feel like it's finished. I was thinking perhaps just something in the foreground, in the lower part or in the water.
Mm-hmm. Because I
Perhaps
think you
in
are
this
the
sort of
final.
area.
You're the final
Correct.
person. Yeah.
Correct.
That's
Yeah,
right.
correct.
Wow.
Because it's it looks as if it's pretty much complete.
Yeah. It has a lot of wonderful textures. At least when I saw it
Yeah.
last, it did.
Yeah. No, it's still, and even more now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see how this painting resolves itself, and makes me really feel like we have to have an IRL show where we can actually like all take a look at it.
Yes, for sure. Well, we're working on that.
It just doesn't translate, you know, on camera, like the subtleties of this piece.
there are a lot of
Yeah.
subtleties. So
Yeah.
Laura, you started
There are.
the painting, and what were your materials that you started with?
Acrylic. Yeah, and with a spatula, and it's actually how I'm painting now my abstract.
Mm-hmm. With a palette knife.
Yeah. Now I'm using also another thing. It's what we use to clean the windows.
Oh yeah, squeegee.
So it's a bigger because I'm painting a bigger painting.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Fun.
Yeah.
Squeegee are
Paint
great.
scraper. Paint scrapers are good too, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you applied your a sun print, or how did you do the print on that came next there?
Oh, I had I used a waste material that is produced during the botanical printing of fabric, and the waste material is like a rice paper. Ooh. And so I used a acrylic medium to adhere it, like a collaged it on top of the acrylic. So it's a thin layer of printed paper, monoprinted paper.
It added a layer of not only texture, but like, how did this become? It was like magic. Like
it really was.
Really was. And then Denise, I think you were next, and you were like, I love texture. And
No, I think it's actually Stephanie was first.
Yeah.
Before you or Rose?
Yeah, no, after me.
Before me. And she did these small, the small little 3D things that happened in the bottom.
Yes.
Which was what inspired me to put the bigger acrylic textures on top of them.
That's very cool. That's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so there because I was sort of trying to figure out which direction it needed to go into, and I really felt like it was sort of very organic, and it gave me the feeling of like a field or at least something to that effect.
Yeah.
I got it
Yeah.
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 loud and clear.
Yeah. You definitely did. Yeah. Well, Cheryl, this little piece is going to be getting all its healing from your Australian winds from the beach.
I sort of, I hope so, but it's just so sad.
Yeah.
Because you feel like it's deliberate.
Well,
I mean, the poor bear just had an accident. I mean,
yeah,
this
it
was more
abusive.
deliberate.
It was abused. It's the imprint of someone's unresolved rage.
Yeah.
I don't think that person will ever have unresolved rage. I think that person is just rageful.
Just
Well, we have a sort of an unplanned like a seventh artist that became part of this painting unwillingly.
yeah, another collaborator.
Yep.
Or process to work with.
I think that I probably will just some of these little pieces right down here in the bottom. I think that I'll just bring these out to make them come a little bit further into the foreground, and just to sort of come a bit down to the bottom, because these little pieces here, they change from dark up to light.
Yes, they do.
And we've got this dark up to light as it's coming up to make it more into that realism or that a landscape. So I think that I'll probably just make something down here just a little bit darker, just to continue this light coming over here to dark sort of piece. Yeah. And something just in this organic, and maybe just extending, some of these other little, these sort of organic, I'll extend these down, but I'll actually make that darker, I think. I'll keep this going from the light to the dark sort of going on, I think.
Well, you're the master of light and illumination, so
Yes.
I can't wait.
So I'll make it, I think that will go darker down here, just so that we get this feeling of it, of the growth or of the growing up or the freedom. Perhaps, going from, going from the dark into the light, going from the mud into the sun.
Nice.
I love it.
Can't
wait.
Yeah.
When you read the intention book, when you read the passport, what we've all written, it's a pretty interesting story. It's a through line. You'll really be, I was impressed how consistent it was.
Yeah.
So pretty soon we're going to have a showing.
Yes.
We got to get our shit together first.
We're working on it.
Working on it. Yeah. Well,
all right.
This was so much fun. And
it was.
Yeah.
let's get together again really soon so we can talk and look and talk more.
Yes.
Thanks,
Sounds good.
guys. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye bye.